All right, here we go. Hello, Echo. You all right? Oh, I'm excited for this. Round 1, 2021 EMS Racing League season. My first time commentating an F1 race. I'm excited for that. I'm going to start with qualifying. 18 minutes. Around this 4.36 kilometer circuit. 18 laps will be the race later on. I believe we do two 25% races. Fast-paced track, 14 corners, 8 to the right, 6 to the left. It's going to be an interesting first track to navigate around for everyone that's in this lobby today. I'm glad you hear me. Yes, I'm glad. I was tempted to do a little mic check because I've not streamed Formula One before. I did once. We'll see if the Wall of Champions claims anybody today. Turn my TV down a little bit. So we've got 16 drivers today. Who will be the first one to take to the track and set a time in this 18-minute qualifying session? Haven't heard too much. I've just heard that the Haas drivers are fast. I've heard the McLaren drivers are fast, and we got a couple cars taken to the track already. One of which being the McLaren. In fact, the first one out, skateboarder in the Alpha. Let's get that lap data on that out lap. He'll be setting the first time of the day around this 4.3 kilometer circuit. Seems like most people are on their out. Well, we've got 5 cars on the track right now. Going to start getting pretty congested out here. And this is the hairpin where I'm sure we'll see many overtakes later on. Certainly one of the key overtaking points of the track. And here we go. Look at this. Everyone's coming out. 8, 9. That 9 cars out on their out lap. But our first lap of the day of the 2021 EMS season is about to start in this qualifying session. And it's going to be the Alfa Romeo who starts his first lap of the day. Let's see where he can place himself. We've already got a yellow flag in Sector 3. That's a, what is that, McLaren in Sector 3? I think it was. We'll stay on board with the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, these guys, these are actually people. Yes, actually people racing. It's not AIs, everything. It's just people. Obviously the Alpha will be the first one to put themselves on provisional pole, but you know, he's purple in Sector 2, obviously. We've got another yellow flag in Sector 3. Constant yellow flags in Sector 3 in this qualifying session already. Coming across the Wall of Champions now, final corner to finish that first lap. It'll be a 1:11.2. I believe Paul Todd is also on a flyer. He's a 1:02 right now. Again, coming around that final corner. Going to say his lap. RBR Elbers goes fastest. Paul Todd takes it though with a 1:09. Be hard to track who's where on the track. He set his time. Here comes Ashley Goodwin 12 in the Mercedes. Let's see what time he can set as he comes across The final corner, that final chicane. Oh, collision with the Wall of Champions. What does he get? Where does he put himself? 6th place with a 112. A slight collision in the Wall of Champions. He tried to take it as fast as he could, but unfortunately for him, tapped that wall. Could have been way worse. Not the least fastest though. Sir Reese coming in with a 116. Might have had some troubles on his lap. My bad. Yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing pretty much every one of these names, apart from Ashley. You want in, Echo? Let's see who else is looking to set a lap time right now. We've got Ben Slater on his out lap in the Williams. 109 is the time to beat as of right now. The Haas driver got provisional pole of a 109.5. Let's see what Ben Slater can do. So we're going to follow him round. Currently on his out lap. Right on board. Round that hairpin. Appreciate the follow. Let's really watch how he takes this final chicane. Nice. Here we go. Ben Slater will start his first timed lap of the day. That long right-hander. Sir Reese has gone round again. He struggled with that first lap. Went 160 in his first lap, but a 109 provisional pole. 109.3 for Sir Reese in the Renault. Seems like quite a tight field. A second between the top 5 so far. Oh, very deep in there. He's not going to be happy with that. Yellow flags in Sector 1. Looks like a Ferrari. Let's see what time you can put together nonetheless. Yeah, he went deep into one of the corners earlier on the lap. Won't be too happy with it, but we'll see what kind of competitive time the Williams can post in his first lap of the day. Coming around that final corner at 1.9. What's it going to be? Oh, the lap time was deleted, yeah. Track limits, they're on strict here. Strict track limits, I believe. Assists are off for pit starts and and race starts, and I believe everything else you can have whatever assists you want. But the track limits are strict, so we'll see a lot of lap times deleted. Can he master it this time? Much better, much better. Wow, I messed it up. Let's see. Have a look at somebody else for a second. On board with the Haas of Kimi Räikkönen 98 on his flyer. Yellow flag in Sector 2. See what Kimi Räikkönen 98 can post. Maybe get provisional pole. Not quite. Only going to be second. Less than a tenth off of provisional pole. Still 10 minutes to go in our first qualifying session of 2021. My first qualifying session as a commentator. I'm enjoying it so far. Who's yet to set a time? Let's have a look. Oh, it doesn't let me change the... okay. I have to go this way about it. Skateboarder is on a flyer in the Alpha. He was the first guy out on the track, I believe. See what kind of time he can put together. Currently, the Mercedes of Ashley Goodwin 12 is at the bottom of the pack with a 112, well, 112.0. Not too far behind the Williams of SSG Atmosphere. And Ashley Goodwin goes 8th. A bump up for the Mercedes as we watch the Alfa Romeo with scat border 05. I used to have Skeletrix, yeah, Jack. How will he take this final chicane? No, not. He's bailing on the lap into the pits. We'll go back to Adam Fav in the Alpha Tauri. Yellow flags in Sector 2. A red lap. I mean, no. This track limits have cancelled out this lap for Adam Fav, I believe. B2K just setting up maybe for a flyer. A lot of yellow flags. I guess it's just people going slow, isn't it? Don't want to burn those tyres out. But also don't want to get caught up in traffic. And here we go. B2K going for a flyer. Yet to set a lap time today. Let's see what he can do in the racing point. Of course, all cars are equal in this series. Wouldn't see a Renault and Haas up top if all the cars weren't equal. And here we go. Nice. Right on the apex there. Hugging it tightly. Didn't quite get too close there, but see what kind of time he can put together in Sector 2. First time lap of the day for B2K. And perhaps bailing on the lap. Still going to have to wait for a time for him. Only 10 drivers have posted the time right now. We've got Sir Reese in the Renault still on podium. Podium? On pole. Jesus Christ. You can tell it's my first time calling a Formula 1 race. I watch enough of it. I shouldn't be making these mistakes, but it happens. On pole. Kimi Raikkonen in the Haas. Second, followed by his teammate in third so far. Still just a second, separating the top 7. The Red Bull in 4th, McLaren 5th, Ferrari 6th, Alpha Tauri 7th, sorry, the other McLaren 8th, Mercedes 9th, and the Williams in 10th. See if Scatboarder can get that lap together now. He's had a couple of attempts. He's bailed on one, maybe 2. Sir Reese got even faster with a 108. I'd like to point out that the race lap record, obviously it's always going to be faster during qualifying, but the race lap record, 113 around this circuit. 113.0. See if we can beat that later on today. Of course, you do get a point for fastest lap. Maximum points you can secure in one day being 52. Across both races. Get a good exit there. See what kind of time Scatboarder can post up. It'll be his first time of the day. One of the 6 remaining drivers yet to post a time in qualifying. With only 5 minutes remaining. Here we go. Needs to get a time on the board. And goes with a 1:11.2. That is going to be 11th fastest for Scatboarder. Adam Fav just started his flying lap. Bailed on one earlier. Yellow flag in Sector 1. I believe it's Paul on a flyer. 1 second off his current pace, if he is on one, in the McLaren. Currently sitting P5 with a 109.7. Just 1/10 off of that 4th place spot. Setting up, perhaps to go for a flying lap. No, going for the pits. I imagine most of these drivers are going to go with one more attempt at it. With only 4 minutes left in the session, Maybe whack on some fresh tyres and give it one more go. Right now you've got, well, you can't see him because he's in the pits, but Sir Reese in the Renault on provisional pole with a 108.5, almost a second ahead of the second place Haas. It was a second separated in the top 7 before he set that absolute flyer of a lap. Got 4th place, Red Bull on his out lap. Looks like the racing point of Vulgano is also setting a flying lap. I believe that is ahead of him. Nope, going into the pits. Here we go. We'll watch the Red Bull. We'll go on board. We'll go on board with the Red Bull. And see his flying lap here. See if he can push himself slightly higher up. I'm sure he wouldn't be too upset with 4th. See how he does in the first sector. Beautiful exit. Almost touching the grass. That's lovely. You want to go as tight in as you can there. The other Haas on an outlap as well. Maybe you're going to try and push himself up from 3rd. Still got 5 drivers yet to set a time as we get yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. And the Williams retired from the session. I wonder if that was what that yellow flag was for. I'm going to watch somebody who maybe hasn't put a lap together yet. Ben Slater out here. His best time, I believe, well, it said there was a 1:13. I'm assuming that one was retracted due to maybe track limits or something. I love those emotes. Every time you post them, Jack, just beautiful. Let's see what Slater can do though. And the Williams is his teammate has retired from the session. Still got 5 cars yet to set a lap time. I mean, at this point, just set one and you'll at least not start at the back of the grid. Enough time for maybe one more lap. For those who haven't started their lap yet. Got to avoid the traffic. Won't be a lap time on the board for Ben Slater, it looks like. Unless he thinks he can get back round again in 1 minute 20. Vulgano on his out lap, maybe looking to set his first lap time of the evening. Still got a minute to get round. Yellow flags on sector 3 again, just people slowing down, trying to create a little bit of space. It's one of the reasons why I can't wait to go to Monza. You get all the cars packed up. It's dangerous, but it's gonna create for some great scenes to watch. Let's see what Vulgano can do here. He's got time for one crack at a lap. Currently 17th. Yeah, I've seen so many people's times be deleted to track limits. It's got to be frustrating. You don't know what lines to take. I mean, I guess. Here we go. See if the Racing Point can put together a lap. And it looks like, by the way, the Haas of Estwinger did go ahead. Oh, and Paul Toddy goes 3rd. Just seen that one. A 109.3 knocks the Haas, who was earlier on 2nd. Kimi Räikkönen 98 was 2nd. Then went down to 3rd because, as I was just about to say, his teammate jumped him, and now Paul Toddy has also gone ahead of the Haas. We'll stay on board for Vulgano in the Racing Point and see what he can put together. This will be his last shot. One of the last people to cross the finish line with a lap. It's over. The qualifying session has finished. Those who are on their flying lap get the chance to finish, though. Let's see what he can put together. Coming towards that final chicane. Avoid the wall of champions. You've got to do. We saw someone hit it earlier. Oh, came very close to tapping it there. Let's see what kind of time he puts together. This is looking fast. Oh, okay. 109.8. Both racing points put a lap together in the dying embers of the session, and they go 8th and 9th. They waited the whole session to put that lap together. But you know what? Worth the wait. Jump themselves up to 8th and 9th. Just going to push Elbers down, who retired earlier on the session. Goodwin down. The McLaren of Lee Kaler down. We've got 3 drivers that didn't get to set a lap time. But that'll be the end of our qualifying session here in Canada. The first qualifying session of the 2021 EMS Racing League. The first round of 12, and it's quite a spicy looking calendar. Oh no, I do not want to leave the session. When I was spectating other races earlier to practice this, it always cut me to the 5 red lights when we were like 3 lights in. Really frustrating. Hopefully it loads me in straight away. But what a qualifying session we have. We've got the Renault of Sir Reese on pole. The Haas boys have done quite well to secure 2nd and 4th. 2nd and 5th, sorry. Got punched down by the AlphaTauri of Adam Fav just right at the end of the session. Another one that took quite some time to put a lap together, but when he did, it was pure fire. We'll see how we do in the race. The first race of the season. 25%, I believe, will be 18 laps. In this Canadian Grand Prix. And then, of course, I believe, again, if I'm not mistaken, there'll be another 25% race with a reverse grid. Kind of like Formula 2, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I'm excited for this. It happens, you know. First time doing this, going to be a few hiccups. Don't worry. Don't worry. It happens. And here we go. The Canadian Grand Prix is underway. That's it. It loads me so late into the 5 red lights. But the Renault of Sir Reese gets away very strong, as does the Haas of Estvinger. Goes through the inside. Will he take first? He gets the good exit, and into first place goes Estvinger. S-Winger. Sir Reese behind him will not be happy about that. He set pole position by quite some time. Looks like we had a collision on the first lap. We've got a penalty for Matt Mass F1. A yellow flag in sector 2. Jesus, a lot of position changes. Let's go to the midfield. Let's see what's happening in the midfield. Look at this. It was almost 3 abreast as we spectate SSG Atmosphere. Let's go on board. Right behind Scatboarder. Little tap! And onto the grass. Going to push him right down to 14th behind the McLaren. Brakes very late. Jesus, very deep in. A massive collision to the side of the Haas. And a really poor start for Kimi Räikkönen, by the way. Has gone down from 5th to 12th. If we go towards the front of the grid, we'll see 5 tenths separating first and second. Sir Reese will want to get that position back. Interesting to see the tyre choices here with El Sando, the highest person up on the grid right now, currently on the mediums. can't wait to see how this pit strategy plays out. 7 tenths separating the Renault of Sir Reese and the Haas, who currently leads this race. The McLarens have had a troubling start as well, following closely at 5 tenths. We've also got, if you want to go down to the Ferrari here, 1 tenth separates him and the Racing Point. If he can get a good exit off, in fact, he can maybe dive bomb onto the hairpin. We know the hairpin is a great overtaking chance, doesn't even need it. Ahead goes the Ferrari of El Senado. And he's now going to be behind Vulgano in that Racing Point, who just himself is only 5 tenths back on the AlphaTauri. So what Vulgano can do here, 7 tenths off the back of Elbers in the AlphaTauri. A lot of penalties are going around here. I assume only 5 seconds, another penalty. This one's a 3 second. I'm going to assume for track limits. Multiple warnings, it says. We'll have a look. Penalties, yeah. A lot of 3 second penalties and a drive-through penalty for Matt Mass. And the closest racing at the moment seems to be at the front. The Renault of Sir Reese still just 4 tenths off the back of S-Winger. And look at this beautiful camera angle we've got on the wing of that Renault. I can spectate him for sure. He's 2 seconds off the back of Adam Fav in that Red Bull. The lone Red Bull in this race, by the way, is going to have to carry the team on his back. Right behind him, though, he's got... I mean, I know it's early goings in this race, but he's got a small buffer in the sense that Elbers and Vulgano have both got 3 second time penalties. Again, though, still a long race to go. Still 15 laps. Passes that final corner, and Sir Reese sets the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:11.3. Ashley Goodwin with a 3 second time penalty as well, down in 16th. As we see our first trips to the pits for the Racing Point of B2K and the Williams of SSG Atmosphere. Got ya. I appreciate that. Oh, wait a minute. Look at the front. 3 tenths now separate Sir Reese and the Haas ahead of him. It's the curse of the commentator, though, because as soon as I go to spectate, it goes down to 4 tenths again. Keep a close eye on this fight for first. The all-important 25 points. Right now, it could be 26 for Sir Reese if he can get the lead. He has the fastest lap. Can he get the exit he needs, though, as we approach this DRS zone? The rear wing open. DRS enabled. Going to go around the outside into the Wall of Champions. 2 abreast, and he gets the lead ahead of the Wall of ahead of the final chicane. And Sir Reese back in the lead after dropping it on lap 1 to Estwinger V1. See the kind of gap he can create as we go back down the field to the Racing Point as he takes the... Wow, he's very close. He's very close to the AlphaTauri. Can he get it? He's going to have to go round the outside of the second corner. That long... Ooh! Almost lost the rear end, and he's going to lose the position perhaps to the Ferrari of El Senado. Very close wheel-to-wheel racing. We're going to get a 3 second time penalty as well for El Senado. A lot of warnings going around in this race so far. But I'll tell you who is having quite a peaceful race in 4th place is the Red Bull of GWR 63. He's 3 seconds behind the AlphaTauri. He's almost 2 seconds ahead of the other AlphaTauri. He's in an AlphaTauri sandwich, but they're all surrounding him with penalties. So if he can just keep this race pace up, go for the old switcheroo there. Will it work out for him at the hairpin? We know it's a great overtaking opportunity, but he might get caught by Slater. Ben Slater now right behind Vorno. Going to be forced around the outside in that final chicane if he doesn't get the overtake before then, which he does. And Sir Reese at the front of the field now has a 1.4 second gap to second placed S-Winger V1. It looks like Vorno is not going to give up here. Only 6 tenths, or 2 tenths, sorry, back on Ben Slater. This could become a three-way battle. Ben Slater only 6 tenths off the back of El Senado in the Ferrari. The lead Ferrari in this race. A lot of pit stops happening now. Let's have a look. Yeah, so everyone below 12 has had a stop. Oh, wait a minute! I've just seen a collision! I've just seen someone go straight into the wall. Who is that not moving? I believe that's Skateboarder. Straight into the wall. I saw it. Oh, that corner cutting ahead from the Ferrari of Tristan. Big collision back there. We saw it just in the background of my screen. I believe that was Skateboarder who went into the wall. Might be mistaken though. I guess we'll find out by seeing who goes into the pits. Got to get the hang of these buttons. I assumed right trigger would go. Well, no, left trigger, sorry, would go down. I don't know why. Messed me up a little bit. Pit window is open. Gonna have some more pit stops now. As I said, the man who was having quite a peaceful race, the Red Bull, has come into the pits, and a time penalty for Elbers in the AlphaTauri. Steve Warno, 5 tenths off the back of Ben Slater. He's not giving up that position too easily. Only 3 tenths off the back now. Got to keep a close eye on this midfield racing, you know. Another 3-second time penalty for Tristan. Certainly going to be quite a few time penalties across the 18 laps of this race. Can he get a good exit? We're quite deep with the Williams. Certainly deeper than the Racing Point. Oh! Bit of wing damage. A collision with the wall for Vorno. You see that Racing Point front wing flying off, and that's going to be time to go to the pits for Vorno. Let's go back. See where he's going to come out. I mean, who have we got? Is his teammate coming up? His teammate likely will come out ahead of Vorno. We go to the lead right now. The battle for the lead. Sonado just 4 tenths off the back of the current leader, Elbers, in the AlphaTauri. Now, if you look here though, Sir Reese has already stopped, right? He's the only man in the top 5 right now to have stopped, and he's only looking to be what, 5 seconds, 6 seconds off the back of Elbers. So he's put himself in a great position. Matt Mass with a DNF, the first DNF of the day. We've got a virtual safety car out, by the way. We've got to maintain pace while the debris is cleared. A virtual safety car coming to an end, and Sonado right on the back of the AlphaTauri. Battle for first. Trying to get that. He had that slipstream. It looks like Elba's going into the pits, and Sonado will take first place as of right now. Of course, we know Sir Reese isn't too far behind him. He's already pit. Looks like Sonado's coming up to SSG Atmosphere. We're going to see some blue flags waved soon, I imagine. Now, I did mention earlier, I believe Sonado was the only man in the, well, at the time I mentioned it, to have the mediums at the start of the race. And we're seeing that strategy work out for him now. Will it work out in the long run? We'll have to wait, because Cerise is less than 3 seconds behind him now. We go back down to where Elbers has come out of the pits, behind the Red Bull of GWR 63. Still yet to get a penalty. I said he was having a nice relaxed race, and he's now going to have to put his defending to the test, because Elbers, right behind the Red Bull, could get quite the battle here. A 3-second time penalty for the Alfa Romeo of Skateboarder. We have a look at the penalties. Skateboarder up to 11 seconds. That could put everyone down to Ashley Goodwin with a chance to get 12. Well, to get a place from 12. Look at the tyres we're using. The only one in the top 5 on the softs is the Ferrari. The 8-lap-old softs, as we get Elbers around the outside of the Red Bull. Around that final chicane. Certainly made great use of that DRS, but can he keep it as we go into the first corner? GWR, sorry, right behind him, and lock up Going to want to stay close as we approach the next DRS section of the lap. Well, the first one, I should say. In the fight for the lead, I'll get to in just a moment, because I do see Cerise is within 5 tenths of Tsunoda. But wait a minute, the Red Bull could be firing back. Tries, oh, almost a collision. Was that a collision? A wheel-to-wheel contact between the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull. And I think that might have given him the slight gap he needed. Now it's back to 6 tenths, and Cerise, I was about to cut to him, but Cerise and Tsunoda, you know what, I will know Tsunoda's going to the pits. Cerise and Tsunoda, it seemed like they were exchanging positions, maybe on the final DRS zone of the lap. And it seems like everyone's really starting to fall back in position now. Estwinger still in second. He started in second. Cerise started first. He's back in first. Elba's up to fourth. This fight is still going to go on between the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri into the first corner. Then that long left-hander, a big lock-up by the AlphaTauri. 11 of 18. We're way past halfway point in this race now. Some people on the hard tyres. Tsunoda's gone into the softs, as is the other Ferrari. Well, no, the other Ferrari's on the mediums, I should say. I don't know where I got softs from. 7 tenths. It's not the closest battle on the field, though. The closest battle on the field right now is the Ferrari of El Tsunoda. Coming right up to the gearbox of Vorno in that racing point. Get the onboard as the Ferrari zooms past on that straight. Good use of DRS from Tsunoda, and he's back into 8th. Those soft tyres, I mean, they're going to be, what, a second and a half faster per lap than the hards that Vorno is running. Vorno, though, get a little dose of DRS here. Around the back straight. Can he put it to good use? 8 tenths, though, now off the gearbox of that Ferrari. The Red Bull of GRW. GWR, I don't know, I keep saying that. 2 tenths right now, and AlphaTauri locking up. Go on board with the Red Bull of GWR 63. A lot of penalties have handed out so far. And that might actually end up helping out GWR 63. As I've mentioned a few times now, he had quite a relaxing race, and the man ahead of him by 1 second, the AlphaTauri, does at least have a 3-second penalty. It might be more than that. Got another 3-second penalty for Skatboarder. Must be up to at least 14 now. The Ferrari of El Tsunoda right on the back of Ben Slater, currently 7th. Great race so far, by the way, for Ben Slater. Started, I think, at the back of the grid. Going to try and go around the outside, obviously not close enough. The Ferrari of El Tsunoda set the fastest Sector 2 of this race so far, I believe, if the mini-map tells me correctly. Right on the back of Ben Slater, looking to make that overtake before the final chicane. Not going to be able to get it this time. Right on the gearbox. There must be mere millimeters between El Tsunoda and Ben Slater as he passes him into the first. Oh! Big collision between the Ferrari and the Williams of Slater. A huge collision on the first corner. Could be costly. I'm sure the stewards are going to have a look at that one. Tsunoda now finds himself behind the racing point of Vorno by 7 tenths on, I believe, much fresher tyres. Tsunoda on the softs. Most people at this point in the race on the mediums or the hards. And look, yeah, you see Tsunoda right on the back, right back on the back of Vorno by 2 tenths. The closest bit of action on the field right now by quite some margin. What a shot of that soft tyre, just to back up my claim that he's on the softs. Gonna make use of this DRS, so might not even need it. Might not even need it to get past the racing point. He's gonna have to pick up the pace if he's gonna get back behind that Williams of Ben Slater as the Red Bull of GWR 63 comes into the pits. Where will he come out though? I'll give a quick mention to this man right here. Yet to pick up a penalty this race. Had a rough... Oh! I don't know what I thought I saw there. Had a rough start to this race. You know, he started in 5th. He's back up to 5th. Went quite far down the packing order, but here he is, back up to 5th. 6 seconds off of 4th. And the man's having quite a calm race, as similar to the Red Bull. But you know who's having the best race of his life right now. This man, the Renault, dominated qualifying, started on pole, was a second up near enough. I think 7 tenths up in qualifying, and Cerise in the Renault, currently 5 seconds up on S-Winger V1, and barring any hiccups, could be looking to walk away with the first win of the season. It's all about tyre management now for Cerise. I mean, really coming along quite well, but we're going to get back to this because it looks like Sonado has got ahead of the Williams that pushed him off the track early on. Matt Massa rejoined the lobby. Slater now following the Ferrari, must have missed that bit of action. It's hard to watch so much action at once. Need to have like multiple cameras. We're at 5 tenths off the back of Sonado, but Sonado does have a penalty. You notice how Slater doesn't, but I imagine the stewards will have a look at that collision. I'm not sure who was at fault from the angle I saw. We've got the stream obviously to look back on. I'm sure they'll have their own perspectives as well. Actually, I would take a second to look at the penalties here because we're closing in. We've got 2 laps to go. Penalties could become a big factor in this race. Sir Reese needs to maintain that gap because he does have a 3-second time penalty. If S-Winger can just close down the gap, he's now got 6 seconds. As Ben Slater still right on the gearbox, 7 tenths off the back of that Ferrari, but that Ferrari does have a 9-second time penalty that will be added on after the race. So he could find himself dropping down as far as 10th. He might not even be in the points. Because I mean, if we pull up the gap to the leader, sorry, he could find himself in 11th because of that 9-second time penalty. In fact, a podium could still be on for the other AlphaTauri. A 9-second time penalty for Adam Fav would put him behind Elbers, although Elbers has got a 6-second time penalty. So no, Adam Fav could be safe for a spot on the podium. Get back to interval. Really is right now only 2 really close fights on the track. Ben Slater starting to fall behind, but we've got the Red Bull of GWR 63 right behind Paul Toddy in the McLaren. Started quite high up on the grid. Not had the best race of his life, I'd imagine. He'd be quite critical of himself. The Red Bull just 3 tenths off the back of the McLaren in that DRS zone. Going to go right up the inside into this final chicane. You know what? I will say we haven't seen the Wall of Champions collect any victims to my knowledge so far. Both of these men, though, have had a very clean race. Currently in the battle for 9th. No penalties for them. In fact, they will be pushed up due to the, I think the 12-second time penalty of Sonado will push up Toddy and GWR, and then the 15-second time penalty for Vorno will push up Toddy and GWR as well. So they could be looking at maybe 7th and 8th. Certainly closing in. I mean, our race leader right now is on his final lap of the race. He has that 3-second time penalty, but right now the Haas is currently 7 seconds back unless something major happens in this lap. We could see Sir Reese walk away with the first win of 2021. I believe that is that Tristan he just lapped in the other Ferrari. If we look at the time penalties further back on the grid, Ashley Goodwin, if he can catch up by 5 tenths, could end up in 13th. But we'll watch the race leader come down the back straight towards the final chicane. 8-second gap between himself and second place. Started on pole position, 7/10 up on second place, and now he'll win the race with 5 seconds to spare after that time penalty is added on. A win for Renault, a win for Sir Rees. The Haas of Estwinger in second, the AlphaTauri in third. Of course, these may shuffle up after the time penalties have been added on. There comes Elbers crossing the line. Here comes Kimi Räikkönen. And he will jump up to fourth because of the time penalties by a 10th. Woo! Sonado crossing the finish line, as does Slater. Slater will jump in, but I'm sure the stewards will look at that earlier incident. And look at that, GWR leaps up due to those time penalties, as does Toddy. We'll go back to 11th now, and he will leapfrog his teammate. B2K will go 10th. Scatboard has quite a few time penalties, 17 seconds worth of it, but he'll cross the line in currently 12, net 12 if you will, but we'll wait for Lee Kaler to cross the line. Lee Kaler and Ashley Goodwin, the final two people to cross the line in this thrilling Canadian Grand Prix. And last but not least, the Mercedes of Ashley Goodwin, 12, crosses the finish line, and a win, as I mentioned, for Renault. Sir Rees, Estwinger, and Adam Fav take our podium positions. The game threw the driver of the day out there, but I guess, do I have to give one for both races, or do I do one after both races? But a win for Sir Rees. Second place for the Haas of Estwinger. Gave him a good run for his money in qualifying. Qualified second, finished second. And then third place for the AlphaTauri of Adam Fav. And what a first race of the season. I believe Sir Rees also picked up fastest lap. He did, and he actually broke the lap record by almost 2/10. Lap record being 1:11. Don't know if that's how it works. I don't know if I'm supposed to just leave the session, but I did. I suppose I'll just rejoin. But what a race. Woo! I'm sure there'll be a few trips to the steward's room, the steward's office. I'd love a wet race. The amount of spice that would bring. I believe I just joined back. I don't think I was supposed to exit, but oh well, I did. What a first race. Barely had time to drink my coffee. It was so action-packed. Yeah, we'll get the, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is a reverse grid for the top 10. So we're going to have to see Sir Rees make some nice overtakes this time round if he's going to win 2 in a row. that cheeky ad, that cheeky friend request that popped up. If you think I'm doing anything wrong with the commentary, by the way, by all means, let me know. I'm always about the feedback. Never commentated Formula 1 before, so it's all a learning curve. Got my little sheet in front of me. I'm looking forward to this reverse grid race, though. Oh, look, all the ads are coming in. Accepting them on my PC. Here we go. "17 seconds, this reverse grid. Race 2 will begin. The second, think of it like kind of like the Formula 2 race weekend setup. The schedule. The top 10, I believe, is how it's going to be rotated. Maybe it's the full grid, I'm not sure. I'd love it to be wet. See what the weather gods give us. We've already had an 18-lap thriller to kick off the 2021 season. Now the second race of round 1. We'll get underway momentarily. We will head to 5 red lights in due course. Oh, less than 10 seconds to go. I'm excited. I don't like how it cuts me to like 2 red lights. Really frustrates me. Oh wait, no, it didn't. Here we go to 5 red lights. Oh, we're doing a formation lap. Okay, lovely. I'm glad. I was hoping we were going to do a formation lap this time, because last time it just cut me straight to the second light on the 5 red lights, and that was frustrating. Yeah, we've got a formation lap this time. I've never been happier. Thank you, Toddy. Oh. Whoa. Four DQs. Gonna back the field up now. I'd imagine you don't want to get those tires get too cold sitting on the grid for too long. Here we go though, all our drivers rounding the final couple of corners, ready to set up for our second race of 2 here in round 1. The Canadian Grand Prix, the final cars setting up on the grid. And now we will go to 5 red lights in the second race of the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go for the second race of the evening, and a great getaway by the Racing Point. All the cars diving into that first corner. Everyone gets away quite well. There was no poor starts there. Look, no one's really changed position overly too much. Sir Reese, though, the man who won our first race today, is currently up to 4th. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Somebody's had a bit of trouble, something I can't quite pinpoint. But our top 2 hasn't changed. B2K and Paul Toddy. Reese has fallen back down to 9th. Let's have a look at the AlphaTauri of Adam Fav. 1/10 for the back of his teammate. They were close in the first race. And Paul Toddy has fallen down to 3rd. You know what? El Sonado in that Ferrari has been quite handy, quite consistent. Adam Fav's just 1/10 off, and he's actually, if we go to the top of the table, taking the lead. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3, and it's B2K. B2K may have been collected, I missed it, by the Wall of Champions. He is down to last. With no front wing, down to 15th. He started on first. He started on pole due to the reverse grid, and now he is down to last with no front wing. This has been the worst possible start for B2K in the Racing Point. We'll go up to 3rd place. Kimi Räikkönen 98, 6 temps, 5 temps, 4 temps off the back of Paul Toddy. But of course we have a safety car right now, so everyone's got to remain in position, hold place. The safety car will come and collect El Sonado's currently in 1st, while the debris is cleared from the track. Somebody's not moving at the back of the... Oh no, it's the safety car, I'm an idiot. The safety car will wait to collect El Sonado and the Ferrari. Let the field bunch up. Be interesting. I don't think anyone will pit on lap 2, with the exception of those who maybe sustained a bit of damage. The Haas of Kimi Räikkönen 98 will certainly take a chance going into the pits early, as will Ben Slater, as will the AlphaTauri of Elbers. In fact, quite a lot of the grid are going to take that risk. Is it a risk though? We'll have to wait and see. The undercut could be nice because they're going to be bunched up with the field with fresh tyres. Let's get a look at El Sonado, currently 1st place. He'll be coming up on the safety car in moments. Well, in mere moments. The only man to sustain a time penalty so far. I'm sure that's wrong though. I'm sure I saw a lot of flags. No. 2 people have sustained penalties so far, okay. But they would have taken them in the pits. So the only one who's sustained a penalty and hasn't taken it is Paul Toddy right now, currently in 2nd. 5-second time penalty to his name. I'm sure we'll take it when he goes into the pits. Well, he'll have to take it. He'll have to pit at some point during this race. Certainly getting a bit handsy with the safety car there as Sonado almost goes around the outside, around the hairpin. Doesn't want to fall too far behind the safety car, it looks like. A 3-second time penalty for Lee Kaler as well, back in 15th. Look forward to this safety car restart. Look to see how Sonado restarts this race. bunching that field up. He will control the pace, and he will control when we get going, because we are now back to green flags, and we've got an overtake. So Reese up to 7th in the Renault, jumped 2 cars in that safety car restart, and he's also, well, he's coming up on 6th place. Kimi Räikkönen 98, able to get ahead of Matt Mass F1. Oh, Matt Mass F1 with a little bit of a nudge, perhaps. He's skidded off the track. Kind of nosedive into the wall. Don't know if there was a collision as I was on the car of Kimi Räikkönen 98, but Matt Mass has gone head first into the wall at the back of the pack. The drama unfolding here in Canada as we've got quite the close battle for 4th. Well, it's a freeway battle. I mean, look how close the cars are. You could call it a 4-way battle if you wanted to, between Vorno, Adam Fav, Tristan, and Sir Reese. Very closely congested. And then, of course, Kimi is just 1.3 seconds off the pace of Sir Reese in that Renault. We've got a car dipping into the pits, I think I just saw. Yeah, that'd be Vorno into the pits. Going to give the position of 4th to Adam Fav. Oh, yeah, look at that. That was a good shout in the chat. Ashley Goodwin 12 in the Mercedes, up to 11th, starting about 15th. But we'll go back on our previous race winner, Sir Reese 9817, 3 tenths off the back of Tristan in that Ferrari. He won the first race. How far can he climb the grid? We're going to see his overtaking ability now as he goes round. Well, not round. He goes right through the Ferrari on the straight. Didn't need to go around the outside. Didn't need to wait for the end of the DRS zone. He got past him before that, and now Sir Reese up into 5th. Tristan just 5 tenths off of him, and then the other Haas of Kimi in 7th. Estwinger, was the lead Haas in that first race, is currently in 10th, and Ben Slater up to 8th in the Williams. It looks as if there's quite the fight going on between Elbers and Ben Slater. Almost, well, 2 abreast behind the AlphaTauri there. Very close to the wall. Let's get the onboard here. Look at Estwinger right behind that Williams. You see it from the back of the gearbox, very close. And then the Mercedes of Ashley Goodwin 12 really coming to join this fight. Let's see what these 3 can put together here. This certainly is the most intense battle on the field right now. I also noticed that Kimi Räikkönen 98, just 4 tenths off the back of the Ferrari in 6th. Estwinger really close. Look how close he gets to the gearbox of the Williams of Slater. The DRS will come into play after this hairpin if he doesn't get the overtake here. Real close. There was a lock up ahead of them. I believe that was Elbers locking up ahead of them. DRS now will be in play for Estwinger in the Haas. Can he utilize it? Can he get ahead of the Williams? It looks as if he will. And Estwinger, the man who finished 2nd in our first race of the day, is currently up to 9th. And Ben Slater doesn't really have much he can do about that one. We go up to the field. Adam Fav just 5 tenths off the back of our previous race winner. Now down to a 2nd. So Reese certainly starting to pick up the pace as he closes in what could be a great fight. We've seen a great on-track showing by GWR 63 in that first race. I'm looking to see these 2 go at it here. 5 tenths separate them at the end of that DRS zone. Then just ahead of them, Toddy in 2nd. El Sonado really running away in 1st, but look at that. Toddy with a 5-second time penalty they'll have to serve. Could make for an interesting end to this race. We saw in the last race, the penalties really added up in the end. They were the difference maker. Really pushed people up the points. Having a clean race could really make the difference. 3 tenths off of the back of Toddy. Could we get 3 abreast? It looks like we're going to go 2 abreast for sure. GWR ahead of Toddy now. And just behind him, Sir Reese in the Renault. But I believe both cars have entered the pits. GWR and Toddy in the pits. That's going to put Reese up to second. The pit window is open and a yellow flag in Sector 1. Who is that for? Looks like that is for... Who is that for? I'm interested here. Who's going slowly? Someone was. Keep an eye on Ashley Goodwin 12, who's in the points right now. Just 7 tenths off the back of that Williams. Certainly was waved yellows for a brief moment. See if he can keep close to the Williams and maybe make use of the upcoming DRS zone. 7 tenths off the back. I mean, Ashley Goodwin failed to finish inside the points in that first race of the day. 6 tenths off the back of Slater. Quite wide on the exit there. Really up on the back of that gearbox. 4 tenths now for the Mercedes. The only Mercedes in today's race. Mediums versus the hards. Mediums should have that pace advantage, but they will start to wear off. So Reese has taken the lead, but I believe that's because Sonado, our current race leader, has gone into the pits for his first stop of this race. Goodwin's fallen behind now, 1 second off the pace of Slater. Sonado coming out the pits. Where's he going to come out? Has been the lead Ferrari so far this weekend. Finished comfortably ahead of his teammate. He's come out into quite a bit of traffic behind Lee Kaler. He stays ahead though of Paul Todd, and he stays ahead of the man who started this race on pole, B2K. Had an awful first lap, lost his front wing, and now here he is battling with the, I mean, can you say net race leader? It's hard to say at this point. Great view from the back. Sonado gets past the McLaren of Lee Kaler. Paul Toddy also got past B2K. And now it looks like Toddy's going to get right past Lee Kaler as well. Not much defense there, of course. Teammates ain't going to fight each other too much. Let's see if the Ferrari can hold, though. Depending on how the pit stops go in this race, and depending on how much of a distance Sir Reese can do now that he's in first, this could be for net first place. Ashley Goodwin up to 7th. Ben Slater up to 6th. Finding their way up the field nicely. We've got the Red Bull right on the tail of the Mercedes here. Who will get the better exit? GWR right behind the Mercedes of Ashley Goodwin 12. GWR, I believe, has already been in the pits. Really on the tail, looking to close in. Doesn't want to get held up too much behind Goodwin. He's on a much fresher set of mediums. We'll look to take advantage of this DRS zone. Let's have a look, actually. Let's check how the stops. Yeah, the only man who's yet to stop this race will be Adam Fav. Sir Reese played it perfectly. Of course, he went into the pits underneath the safety car. That could have ended up being a great strategy. You'd think El Sonado would have been net first, but because of the safety car, but it was an early safety car, so might have to pit again. Probably will. As we see the Red Bull get past the Mercedes pretty handily there, and we've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Somebody's not moving back there. Let's have a look. That was the Williams of SSG Atmosphere. Having a little spin on the hairpin. Maybe a spin. Something happened. Go up to the top of the race now. S-Winger right behind Elbers and the Alpha Tauri. 2 tenths separate them. As we come up to that hairpin. Great overtaking opportunities. We've seen it today so far. El Sonado gets past Ashley Goodwin. The only man yet to pit is the other Alpha Tauri, currently sitting in second. You're looking at what, like a 20-second pit stop, 22-second pit stop here in Canada? Something like that, so he might drop quite substantially. He's gaining though, he was gaining on the leader before he went into the pits. Now everyone will have pit this race, and S-Winger going for his second pit stop of the day. Go down, have a look at Toddy, because he's only 2/10 off the back of the Mercedes. They pass the wall of champions onto the final straight, onto the home straight on lap 12. Toddy right on the back of Ashley Goodwin. Will Ashley Goodwin try and make these tyres last the whole race? I don't know. He's sitting in a nice, pretty 7th place as Adam Fav comes out of the pits in 6th, just ahead, and almost joined this fight. Luckily for him, though, came out ahead of Goodwin. Toddy right behind him. We'll be looking to pass the Mercedes, but the Mercedes may be looking to pass Adam Fav before he can get the heat in those tyres. Here comes Toddy now. Going to try and make his way past the Mercedes, and he does quite easily, quite cleanly as well. Nice clean racing, and he'll now look to pursue the AlphaTauri of Adam Fav, who's 1.6 seconds down the road. And we're going to look at the fight for 10th for just a moment, because the Ferrari of Tristan, just 5/10 off the back of Vorno, who in his own right is, well, moments ago he was under a second behind Esswinger. Now he's 1.3 off the back of him, but the Ferrari going to make use of the DRS zone on the final straight. The back straight, if you will, going to go around the outside. Doesn't even need to. Gets ahead of him. The DRS certainly proven to be quite strong around this track, as we've got a couple more cars going to the pits. Kimi Räikkönen 98 and Elbers going into the pit once more. I mean, second stop of the evening. The Ferrari ahead now of the racing point, but 6/10 off the back of Elbers, who's just come out. And we've got a DNF. We've got a retiree. I can't see it. I wish I could. And it's B2K has retired from this race. Started first, but he will be our first retiree of our second race today. 13 laps of 18 done. Vorno just 6/10 off the back of Tristan. And we go a bit further forward. Elbers just 2/10 off the back of Goodwin, who in his own right is 6/10 off the back of Estwinger. Just a lapped car there in the form of Matt Mass F1, and Elbers going to get past Goodwin. Seems like that little battle held them up a little bit, because now they're a second off of Estwinger. But you go further up the field and look how close this fight can be. Time penalty there. The only man, oh no, there's 2 men in the top 5 that don't have time penalties, and you know how that can play a factor. We saw it earlier on, especially with how close this is. There is a second separating 2nd and 5th. Look at this fight. We're on board with Adam Fav in 3rd place, the final podium position in the AlphaTauri. Just behind him, 1 second off, is Kimi Räikkönen 98, and then just behind him, Ben Slater in 5th, and then just behind him, Jesus. Let's look on the man in the middle, Ben Slater in the Williams. Right behind him, you see there, he's got Toddy, and he's got Estwinger, and he's got Elbers. It's so close. This is essentially a battle for a 4th? Less than a second between each car. And Sir Reese has gone into the pits. Let's see if he's made enough of a gap, because Sonado, who was in the lead for the start of this race, I claimed he was in net first. Let's see how this pit strategy is played out. Here comes Sonado round the final chicane, and Sir Reese is coming to the pit exit. I think this might have played out perfectly for the man who won the race earlier on today, and he does come out 4 seconds ahead, 4 seconds clear of the Ferrari. He's lost that net first. A yellow flag in sector 1, perhaps a collision. I see Toddy falling down the field as I was focusing on seeing whether or not Sonado would have jumped Sir Reese in the pits. Toddy's really dropped down the field. Kimi Räikkönen 98, 9/10 off the back of the AlphaTauri. He hasn't got a penalty though, but the AlphaTauri does. As does Sonado ahead of him. Kimi Räikkönen's just got to play it clean in the last stage of this race with 3 laps remaining. Just play it clean, don't get yourself a penalty, and if you can just stay close to these two as Estwinger gets past Elbers into 5th. If he just plays it clean here, having played a clean race so far, if he can stay close to them, he could net himself a podium. Oh, I say that, and he's just gone and got himself a 3-second time penalty. Let's have a look at the penalties here. See how they can play a factor. They could still work him out because he's only got 3 seconds, whereas Sonato's got 9. We'll go back a bit. Look at Elbers. 3 tenths off the back of 5th. But he will be, technically he's 2.3, 2 seconds and 3 tenths because he's got a 2-second deficit via penalties. Sir Reese has really run away with this again. 7 seconds up the way over Adam Fav. So essentially Elbers here has got a clear Estwinger and then make 2 seconds. He's safe from Slater behind him because he's also going to lose 2 seconds more than Slater at the end of the race due to penalties. So if Slater can just close down by 7 tenths, he could leapfrog Elbers. Kimi Räikkönen 98 has just put himself up into 3rd place. Let's watch this fight between the Ferrari, the man who started so strongly. He's just tapped the wall of champions with that front right. 6 tenths off the pace of Kimi Räikkönen 98 in that Haas. You've got to commend Sir Reese though today. I mean, he won the first race, started 10th. His overtaking had to be proven, and he did it. A great strategy with that early pit under the safety car. I didn't personally think it would work out, but I guess it did. Oh, again, touching the wall there. Lucky not to get damaged, but maybe tyres starting to wear away for Sonato. Yeah, look how deep he's going into these corners. Tyres perhaps starting to wear away. Could really, and he's got a 12-second time penalty as well. Who's close? Who's close? Estwinger really on the back of Elbers here. Almost wheel to wheel. And as I mentioned earlier, Elbers has 8-second penalty, whereas Estwinger only has a 6-second. So if he stays within 2 seconds, he will leapfrog it, but he'd love to clear him anyway. Oh, collision! Front wing damage! The Haas connected with the back of the AlphaTauri, and that could cost him. Very close as you see this fight continues on. Oh, someone had a spin there. Elbers, I believe that was. Elbers with the spin. But that was well after the contact with Slater. Has fallen down to 7th. And we'll have Toddy gaining on him 3 tenths down the road. And just behind Toddy, Vorno in the racing point. I see a lot of carbon flying across the track there. Oh, by the way, guys, we're on the final lap, I believe. Yeah. Sir Reese closing in to win both races today. But as much as I'd love to focus on this, we've got a battle coming right down to the dying embers of this race. 3 tenths separate Kimi Räikkönen and Adam Fav as they cross the finish line. What's the next close battle? It'll be this one here. Ben Slater and RBR Elbers. 5 tenths, 6 tenths between them. It'll be the time penalties that really change the course of this race. Ashley Goodman has 15 seconds. Probably would have landed himself in the points. Barring that time penalty. Maybe GWR might be able to sneak himself into the points after the penalty times are added on. Oh no, Ashley Goodwin stays 10th. But Sir Reese in the Renault wins not one, but both races of round 1 in Canada. Started on pole by 7 tenths. And this time joined on the podium by Adam Fav and Kimi Räikkönen 98. But Sir Reese once again picks up the victory. Started 10th due to that reverse grid. And we'll walk away with both wins. I'm not sure who got the fastest lap in the second race. I know he got the fastest lap in the first one. We'll see it in just a moment. That would be my driver of the day. I mean, yeah, there we go. 109. Damn, even faster. Smashed the track record of 111.0. Yeah, Sir Reese wins the first race. Qualifies on pole by 7/10. Wins the first race. Starts 10th in the second race. And with a beautiful early pit stop under the safety car. Ends up winning the second race. What a session that was. What a first race of the season. I'm sure there's been a lot of drama. I'm sure there'll be some trips to the stewards. There were certainly a few collisions, a few spins. With some great wheel-to-wheel racing in the first round of the EMS Racing League. But that's been everything, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed it. What a start to the season.